I didn't think I was doing something evil. I thought I was being smart. That's what makes it so humiliating. How confident I was that I was protecting myself, how righteous I felt while I set a trap for the man who'd been loyal to me, and how shocked I acted when the trap snapped back on my fingers. It started with a simple fear: what if I'm wasting my time? My boyfriend, Owen, was calm. Not secretive. Not flirty. Not messy. Just calm. And for some reason, instead of appreciating that, I started treating it like a risk. Like calm meant he was hiding something I wasn't clever enough to catch. So I did what insecure people do when they want certainty without vulnerability. I tried to manufacture proof. And I used my sister as bait. Now he's suing me. Not threatening. Not, "I'll see you in court." Not a dramatic bluff. A real civil lawsuit with my name on the papers, a process server at my job, and mutual friends whispering because my private mess is now a public record. And the worst part? He's winning without ever raising his voice. Owen and I had been together for a year and a half. We lived separately, but practically I lived at his place. My toiletries in his bathroom, my coffee pods in his cabinet, my Netflix profile on his TV. He wanted the next step. Not pressure, not ultimatums. Just direction. He'd say things like, "Let's plan a trip," or "Let's talk about moving in when your lease ends." He introduced me to his parents. He showed up for my family events. He was consistent in that future way. And I hated how much consistency made me feel exposed. Because if he was that serious, it meant I had to be serious too. It meant I couldn't keep one foot out the door, just in case. I've always had this habit of looking for the hidden threat under a good thing. If something feels stable, my brain starts scanning for the reason it won't last. So I started picking at him. Not openly. Subtly. Like little tests disguised as jokes. "Who are you texting? Why'd you like her picture? Do you still talk to your ex?" Owen never snapped. He'd answer calmly, show me his screen if it made me feel better, reassure me without sounding annoyed. Which should have made me feel safe. Instead, it made me feel like he was too good at it. And that's how paranoia grows. It doesn't need evidence. It just needs a mind that's addicted to control. My sister, Kayla, is 3 years younger than me. She's pretty in that effortless way. Big eyes, good hair, the kind of body that makes outfits look expensive even when they aren't. She also has a personality that can turn flirtatious on command. Not because she's evil. Because she grew up learning that attention is currency. We're close, but not tell each other everything close. More like same blood, different worlds. I made the mistake of venting to her one night after Owen and I had a small argument. Not even a big one. Just one of those conversations where you realize you're the one creating tension. I said, "Sometimes I wonder if he's only acting perfect because he's hiding something." Kayla lifted an eyebrow. Men are never perfect. He's hiding something. That statement slid into my brain like it belonged there. I asked, "How would you even know?" Kayla shrugged, casual. "You test him." I laughed. "How?" Kayla smirked. "You want to know if he'd cheat? Have someone tempt him." I should have shut it down. Instead, my chest warmed with adrenaline. "Like who?" I asked, already knowing the answer. Kayla's smile widened. "Me." I paused. No. That's weird. Kayla waved her hand. It's not weird. It's science. If he's loyal, he'll shut it down. If he's not, you'll find out before you waste more time. Science. That's what we called it. Like it wasn't betrayal. Like it wasn't me turning my sister into a weapon and my boyfriend into a suspect. I told myself it would be harmless because Owen would obviously reject her, and then I'd feel reassured and stop being anxious. That was the lie I told myself to make the plan feel moral. Here's what the test actually looked like, because I want you to understand how deliberate it was. Step 1. I gave Kayla Owen's Instagram. She'd met him before, but barely. I told her to follow him. Step 2. I told her what to say. Not explicit. Not pornographic. Just flirty enough to open a door. Hey, I didn't get to talk much at your thing. How's your week going? Step 3. I told her to keep it off obvious channels. No comments. No public flirting. Keep it in DMs. Step 4. I told her to escalate only if he responded. I said it like I was managing a project. Like this wasn't a relationship. Kayla sent the message on a Tuesday. I remember because I was sitting on my couch refreshing like a lunatic, heart pounding like I was doing something brave. Owen responded within an hour. He said, "Hey Kayla. Week's good. Hope you're doing well." Polite. Neutral. Kayla sent a smiling selfie and said, "You always this nice, or is it just because you're taken?" My stomach tightened when I saw it. I told myself it was necessary to test boundaries. Owen replied, "I'm nice because I'm nice. And yeah, I'm with your sister." I felt relief. See? Loyal. Done. Proof. End of story. Except that's not how my brain works. Instead of stopping, I wanted him to pass a harder test. I wanted certainty so strong it could survive my insecurity. So I told Kayla to push. She replied, "She's lucky. If she ever messes up, call me smirking face." And Owen didn't instantly shut it down the way I wanted. Not because he flirted back. Because he treated it like what it was. A joke from a sister. He responded, "LOL. Don't start. She'd kill me." That line. She'd kill me. Sent electricity through my anxiety. Because in my head, it sounded like he was entertaining it. Like he was enjoying it. Like he liked being wanted. I told Kayla, "Push again." Kayla sent, "What if I'm serious?" And Owen didn't reply for 4 hours. Those 4 hours drove me insane. I stared at my phone, stomach twisting, convinced that silence was guilt. When he finally replied, it said, "I'm not doing that. Don't put me in the middle of sibling drama." There it was. The boundary. The right answer. I should have ended it right there and apologized to Kayla for involving her, and then apologized to Owen for my insecurity. Instead, I felt something else. Humiliation. Because he didn't pass my test with a dramatic performance. He didn't say, "How dare you, I love your sister so much." He didn't make it cinematic. He just handled it like an adult. And adult calm doesn't feed anxious ego. So I did the worst thing I could have done next. I tried to make him prove it harder. I escalated the test into a trap. I asked Kayla to meet Owen in person. I framed it like an accidental run-in, same bar near his place, around the time he usually goes after work on Fridays. My plan was disgusting: have Kayla flirt, see if he shuts it down, and here's the worst part. Secretly record it so I could know for sure. Kayla hesitated. That's a lot. I pushed anyway. If he's loyal, it'll be obvious. This will end my anxiety. I told myself I was protecting our future. In reality, I was protecting my need to control. Friday came. I told Owen I had dinner with a friend. I told Kayla what booth to sit in. I told her what to wear. I told her to keep it light. I also told her to leave her phone on record in her purse. Audio only. That's where things turned from immature to legally stupid, depending on where you live and consent laws. I didn't think about any of that. I only thought about getting certainty. Kayla showed up. Owen showed up. And the first 15 minutes were exactly what I wanted. Owen saw her, looked confused, then polite. Kayla said, "Small world," and joked about drinks. Owen kept it friendly, but he didn't immediately leave. Because he's not rude. Because he didn't assume his girlfriend's sister was trying to destroy him. Then Kayla escalated. She touched his arm. She leaned in close. She said something like, "You deserve better energy." Owen pulled back and said, "No. Don't." According to Kayla later, he was firm, but controlled. Then she said the line I told her to say. "If I wasn't your girlfriend's sister, would you?" And Owen stood up. He said, "This is inappropriate. I'm leaving." He walked out. That should have been the end. Loyalty proven. Instead, I did the thing that ruined everything. I confronted Owen with the trap. I called him as soon as I saw Kayla's "he left" text. Owen answered, confused. "Hey. What's up?" I didn't even pretend calm. "I know you met Kayla," I snapped. Silence. "Then, what?" Owen said, voice changing. "How do you know that?" I should have lied. I should have played it like coincidence. Instead, my ego wanted to win. "I set it up," I said. "To see what you'd do." Silence again, heavier. Owen's voice got very quiet. "You set it up." I tried to soften it. "I just needed to know you'd choose me." Owen didn't yell. He just asked, slowly, "And you used your sister?" "Yes," I admitted. Owen exhaled like something inside him broke. "So you've been testing me?" "It's not like that," I said quickly, because that's what liars say when the truth is too ugly. Owen's voice went cold. "It is exactly like that." I panicked. "But you passed. You left. You didn't do anything." Owen said something that made my chest tighten because it was so calm and final. "You don't get points for not cheating when your girlfriend set a trap. That's not trust. That's surveillance." I started crying immediately. "I just love you." Owen replied, flat, "No. You love control." Then he hung up. I thought he was just mad. I thought he'd cool down. I thought I could cry my way back into safety. But Owen didn't do dramatic fights. He did decisions. Within an hour, he texted me one line. "Do not contact me. I need space." Then he blocked me. Not muted. Blocked. I showed up at his place, because I was desperate and stupid. His neighbor buzzed me in because they knew me. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again. Still nothing. Then I noticed something that made my stomach drop. My key didn't work. He had already changed the smart lock code. That fast. Which means he didn't just react emotionally. He reacted strategically. I stood there in the hallway, breath shaking, and realized I'd just turned myself into someone Owen needed to secure his space from. Kayla stopped talking to me too. Not because she suddenly became moral. Because she realized I'd used her and made her look disgusting. "I'm not your spy," she snapped over the phone. "You made me look like a homewrecker for your insecurity." I whispered, "I'm sorry." Kayla laughed bitterly. "Sorry doesn't unsend DMs. Sorry doesn't undo me flirting with your boyfriend." Then she said the sentence that crushed me. "And sorry doesn't fix the fact that you recorded him without consent." My stomach turned over. Because I hadn't even fully processed that part. In my head, I was still living in relationship drama. I hadn't realized I'd also created evidence. 2 weeks later, the real win happened. Owen didn't come back. He didn't ask to talk. He didn't do closure coffee. He sent a cease and desist letter through an attorney. Not a threat. A formal letter. It demanded that I stop contacting him, stop discussing him publicly, stop sharing any recordings or messages, and preserve all materials. Preserve. That word made my blood go cold. Because it meant he was thinking in legal terms now. I immediately panicked and called a friend who's in HR. She said, "If he has a lawyer involved, stop talking. Don't post. Don't text. Get your own counsel." That's when it hit me, Owen wasn't playing breakup games. He was protecting himself. Because. Here's the part one didn't mention yet. I had tried to control the narrative after he blocked me. I told our mutual friends Owen freaked out because my sister joked with him. I framed it like he was overreacting, like he was suspicious. I posted a vague story about finding out the truth and men being liars. I was trying to turn his boundary into his guilt. And Owen wasn't going to let me do it. A month later, I got served at my job. A process server asked for my name at the front desk like it was routine. I felt my soul leave my body. I signed for the papers with shaking hands and took them into the bathroom and opened them like they were a bomb. Owen was suing me. Not for hurting his feelings. For specific things. Defamation, because of what I told mutual friends and implied online. Invasion of privacy, because of recording/attempted recording and distribution risk. Intentional infliction of emotional distress, depending on the complaint language. Harassment, because I kept showing up and contacting after being told to stop. I'm not a lawyer, I'm telling you how it was explained to me by the attorney I hired after I stopped hyperventilating. But the point was brutally simple. Owen turned my loyalty test into documented harm. And because I'd been sloppy and emotional online, he had timestamps, posts, messages, and witnesses. I tried to call him. Blocked. I tried to email him. My email bounced back with an automated response, "Please direct all communication to my counsel." Counsel. The word tasted like humiliation. The first mediation date was set quickly. I had to show up. My attorney sat beside me. Owen sat across the hall in a separate room with his attorney. I didn't see him until we walked out at the same time. He looked calm. Clean. Unbothered. And the sickest part is that I recognized the calm. It was the same calm he had in our relationship. The difference is I used to benefit from it. Now it was aimed against me. Owen didn't look at me. He didn't smirk. He didn't perform. Kayla was there too. She wasn't supporting me. She was there because her DMs and involvement mattered to the case, and Owen's lawyer wanted her statement on record. My own sister sat 3 feet away from me like I was a stranger. That's what exposed publicly really means. Not a viral post. It means the people closest to you are now part of the paper trail. I wish I could say the lawsuit was Owen being petty. It wasn't. Owen was doing what calm men do when they realize you're dangerous to their peace. They document. They formalize. They cut access. They stop letting your emotions steer the story. He didn't win by humiliating me on Instagram. He won by pulling the whole situation into a space where I couldn't manipulate it with tears. And me? I learned the hard way that a test is just a lie with a lab coat. If you set a trap for someone you love, you're admitting you don't trust them. And once trust is dead, love becomes logistics. Now my relationship is over, my sister barely speaks to me, and I'm paying an attorney to defend the mess I created because I wanted certainty without vulnerability. I wanted him to prove he wouldn't cheat. He proved something else instead. He proved he won't stay with someone who treats him like a suspect. My remarks. Hey guys, thanks for watching. She tried to run a loyalty test by using her sister as bait and escalating it into surveillance and public accusations. He won by staying calm, blocking access, protecting his privacy, and using real legal channels once she tried to smear him. If you need traps to feel secure, you're not ready for a relationship. You're ready for control. Subscribe. More tomorrow.